Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about something particular because as you can see we're not talking about a tier 8, tier 7, tier 9, whatever big tiers. We are taking a look at the small tiers, the mighty one you can get at the very beginning of the game, because here there are some precious gems that I feel like deserve such videos. And today we take a look at the M22 low cost that is simply the fastest low tier tank in the game. Because grab your seat, you can climb up to 64 kilometers per hour based on the statistics, but in reality down a hill you'll go to 70 and even 75 kilometers per hour, which is faster than an RU-251 German light at tier 8. But the abilities of the low cost are not limited to its mobility, because the tank itself features some really good gun. As you can see, 56 millimeters of penetration at this tier is just excellent. You top that with nearly 1000 DPM, it's just insane. Also great accuracy. Everything is just perfect about the low cost, and this is probably why Wargaming made it a collectible, and also why it's not available quite often in the shop. Usually the tank comes around to $3, and to be fair, it's definitely a catch for such a small amount of money, because for this you have the possibility of bullying extremely newbie player. And this is what we do today. The first replay we're going to take a look at is the low cost in its natural beta, and especially using its great mobility. Just take a look at when we put the free cam of how fast we go compared to the rest of the opponents. It's just amazing. You already know what tank this is. If I'm not mistaken, this is an Electo or a 12QD PDR. I don't remember the exact name, but even that tank can't climb up with our speed. We are literally rushing around, we are driving straight to the enemy spawn, and we are getting everything we need. We spot the 10 TP, we see that there is no one else around, so we are going to push him straight, and once again we are going to use our mobility. Right click, circle him, and bang, you get whatever you want. It's really hard for tanks of that tier to be able to compete with your tank in terms of mobility, simply because most of the time you're going to play against new players. They don't have a clue that you can right click to aim. They don't really know that they can turn at the same time the turret and the hull, which makes it easy for you to get your revenge, wreck everyone, and take advanced position. I'm literally in the spawn of the opponents after 1 minute of gaming. This is just incredible and a hilarious thing to do. I'm not telling you that it would work 100% of the time, but at least it has the spicy effect to make your games more interesting, because here you are truly fighting off your opponents, brawling, and being able to wreck everything. So there we go, there is the Panzer III. On top of that, our great gun allows us to destroy again and again multiple opponents. And the DPM of that tank, topped with the mobility, allows you to never get bored. I mean, if you can't move, at least you can shoot. If you can't shoot, at least you can move. And this is what makes this tank perfect, in my opinion, and especially at low tier. You're gonna have quite a lot of fun. You're gonna be able to wreck your opponents, and you're gonna be able to do all of that while rushing around, driving, drifting. What else? That's just what I'm telling you. What else? Now let's take a closer look at the replay. As you saw, we push forward, and now we have to take care of the last opponents that are sitting on the hill. If we were in tier 10, I would tell them that they're noobs, but here it's new players, so it's totally logical that they try something like that and think it's the best for them. So we're not going to complain, we're just going to rush through, and we're probably going to be among the first to hit those mighty shots. What are they supposed to do against us? Nothing. They can't do nothing. We go in, they don't care about us, which is the perfect position for us. There we go, we sneak 1, 2, 3. And even if it seems like it's only shots of mosquitoes, we're having fun. We are having fun. We kill the M3 Stuart. Now we're going to take a look at the Panzer III, sitting right there, trying to destroy their tracks in order to immobilize them and to get those juicy sticking damage. And all of that will lead us to get the first class in this tank. And that's pretty much what you can do with it. So let's take a look at the second replay. Here it's going to be an ace tanker, which makes it quite interesting for us, because obviously having an ace tanker at tier 3 is one of the highest achievements you can get in World of Tank Blitz, right? So there we go. as the battle just begins, in 10 seconds, we head up straight to the center of the game. Of the hill, never mind. And there we go, we are starting off snapping the right shell straight into the Panzer III. And something I like about the Locust that not all tanks at low tier have is that it features gold shell. Maybe you're aware of it, maybe not. But before tier 3, you don't have access to gold shell, which can be extremely frustrating as a low tier and bottom tier tank when you're playing against tier 3, and especially the Panzer III right there in front of us. That is impossible to penetrate for most tier 2 frontally. Of course, you still have the possibility of circling it, but if you are facing a skilled player, good luck. And here, we don't have that problem with the Locust, which makes it better to play, in my opinion. So there we go, we're snapping as much shells as possible on that poor Panzer III. And yeah, we don't want to go too far. We have a poor armor, and we are a little piece of butter to our opponents. So there we go, we are staying in the back, we are snapping as much shots as possible. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And now I'm thinking, okay, I'm not necessarily going to stay here for the whole game at 10 degrees of gun depression, and it might be a good idea to use them. So instead of trying to get the Panzer III, maybe it would be a good idea for me to relocate. So there we go, using our great mobility, we take up the hill, we try to snap 1 or 2 shells before going in, and once we're done, boom, we get where we need to be. Alright, we're gonna move, up, and well, there's nothing. Why? Because we carried, guys. We destroyed everything. We only have to deal with the Panzer III and the Panzer 35T. But, well, maybe staying in the open is not the best thing to do. So we're going to pull back. We are going to try to get the Panzer IIIA. We missed, unfortunately, but don't worry. Our great reload time will allow us to get him sooner or later. Straight into the cupola. Bye-bye, thanks for coming. And we keep going. So, in the end, the M22 Locust is a tank you want to have in your garage. Sometimes Wargaming give it out for free for not Christmas but New Year Eve. I don't know if this year they're gonna try something else, maybe try to get us a brand new low tier tank, or maybe they will just recycle by giving us the Locust or even the T7 car or things like that. We'll have to wait to see, but if it's the Locust that they grant, please guys do not sell it, or at least try to do an ace tanker or test the tank before, because trust me, this is definitely worth it. Now for the end of the game, you see that we're in a 2 versus 2 situation. We're gonna use our mobility, but by now their fate is already sealed. I mean, I'm a good player. We're playing against people that don't necessarily have a clue what they're doing most of the time. I'm not gonna assume that they're bad because I didn't check their statistics, but based on how the Panzer 35-ton dropped off the hill, knowing he had the right position, makes me believe that they're not the best players. So now there is the Panzer 35T. He's a tier 2, we are a tier 3. We're gonna have some fun, we are gonna wreck him. But the RNG is gonna protect him, you're gonna see. Here, we're gonna bounce out of nowhere. I truly don't know what happens, but it's not a problem. There we go, we kill him, we secure 5 kills, and on top of that, an ace tanker. Did we deserve it? Yes. Did we? No. Do we must we? Oh, I don't know how to speak English anymore. Okay. My bad, never mind. Put that aside, boys. You want to get Locust in your garage, so please be gentle, give it a try once it's in the shop.